All right, let's see. I think we're good to start. Let me just close out my other tabs here. Alrighty, we're almost online. Let me just say. Alright, let me just share this link around so that everybody knows that I am streaming. Hi guys! What's up? If you're in a place to chat. I'm just sharing the link around to make sure that everything is good and we're ready to go. How's everybody's day going so far? I'll be with you in just a minute. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Alright, there we go. And I can come back to that later. Alrighty. So I guess I will start with the request to-do list as usual. We've got Jason meeting Groot that I started last week. And then I've got a cute one of Zare47 and his daughter Nimue brushing their teeth together. And then DinoArt65 asked for Mortem facing off against Prince Lotor, and if I have time I might get started on Claire versus Hagar. They're both pretty cool ideas. But I'll start off with this one. I debated about how to handle drawing Groot for a long time, since I don't really draw Groot or trees or tree-like things that much. But I think I'm just going to keep his line art pretty basic and then go in with coloring later. Because, you know, you'd think drawing trees would be easy. You just put squiggly lines in places. But if those squiggly lines have to also look like a person while looking like a tree, then it gets a little trickier. But I really like, again, this goes back to why I like doing requests, because these requests challenge me in a way that I wouldn't be challenged otherwise. And you can't really grow unless you're being challenged. I mean, within reason. Like, you also need time to rest, but I mean, like anything, it's a balance. So yeah, just I am Groot. I need to come up with something to talk about. I am Groot. I'm probably just gonna start saying that whenever I run out of stuff to say. Yeah, I am Groot. 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 I think that's I think lines like that is one of the reasons why I actually kind of wish sometimes that I could be a guy just randomly, because they get all those awesome lines and my voice box is not equipped to handle them. And I mean, like, my dad and my brother both have pretty good voices that can handle lines like that. So I know that that's probably what I would do if one day I woke up and I actually were a guy, is I would just spend the entire day quoting all my favorite male characters. Because, I mean, chances are I would have the kind of voice that could handle that. But, I mean, you know, I'd probably spend, like, if I got to be a guy for a day, I would probably spend that entire day voicing all the characters that I still have to coax my brother to voice. It's not his fault. It's not entirely his fault. We haven't gotten them voiced yet. I had to take down my audio recording setup because I thought that I was going to go and spend the holidays with family, but that ended up falling through because I have college stuff to do, and it's gonna take a little while to make sure that my mental health stuff is also working out in my favor. So I'm only gonna spend a short time with them at, like, Christmas. So Christmas week, I don't think I'll be streaming, but everything else should be set to stream. So yay, I get to stream with you guys. You know? That's fun. Well, it's fun for me. I hope it's fun for you guys too. I could always use some improvement, but whatever. I am Groot. You know, this weirdly chunky line art works really nicely for Groot. It doesn't do the same for Jason. I don't know. I don't think it does. Maybe it does. But I'm a little too lazy to go and change my brush size now that I'm almost done. Let's see. Let's minimize this and make sure all our lines are closed. think that should be good. Let's see. This did not... Okay, that works. And then let's just select all of these. Alright. Now what I can do is I can delete and then delete, and that should take care of that. And then for Groot, I can just go ahead and go in with a nice dark brown, just right off the bat. And then I feel like Jason's hair should probably be a little lighter and more saturated. And then I fill that in, and then I get a skin tone here, and then desaturate that. And then a nice denim color there, and then alright, let's make this brush a little smaller. Fill this in. I'm making pretty good time. I've only got like, what, 3 minutes left? Before I check the chat and move on to the next one. The next one is actually really cute, you guys. I can't wait to see it finished. But I'll get to it when I get to it, which shouldn't be too much longer. Let's see. There we go. I think that works for now. Alright, so let's check the chat and see what's up. Alrighty. Sorry if you guys are lagging. I'm doing my best. But, alright, so I can check this one off. Alright, this is just, it's so cute. It's so cute. I don't entirely understand it because, Zare47 is an android of some kind, but who cares? It's cute. If you guys want to, just, mute me and listen to some music, I recommend putting on, Chip Skylar's Shiny Teeth and Me, and just looping that until I'm done. Because that is basically this. I guess, you know, Zare47 may be an android, but he's got to make sure that his daughter has proper dental hygiene practices. Because I don't think she's an android, and dental hygiene is important. Or is dental hygiene also important to androids? Do androids dream of electric sheep? I don't know. I have like no stabilizer on so I don't lag, but it makes parts of my line art more difficult. I removed his faceplate and left the scarf off. Just because I thought that that would make more sense. But yeah, Sir Kunama, or Kunama, if you're watching, feel free to explain, or if there is no explanation and you just thought it would be adorable to have me draw this, either way, just let us know if you're watching, because this is just so cute. You guys all have really, really cute OCs. I'm jealous. Well, not like, well, jealous isn't the right word. I'm not really envious either. I mean, you guys came up with your OCs. Why would I take them away from you, you know? I don't know. I should change the subject. Yeah, this is, based on a frame of the animation from the opening of an anime that has a very sleazy title, and that title is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Which does not do the actual show any justice whatsoever. Like, there are hints of like romantic themes in the show, but it's mostly just about a guy who wants to be better at fighting, looking for teachers to help him get better at fighting. And also it kind of takes place in like some kind of RPG-esque world based on Greek mythology. I don't know. That opening animation was really cute, though. I had almost forgotten about that show. I mean, clearly a lot of love went into it. But, it's just been a while since I've had time to really watch anime. And when I do, I usually go back and rewatch Suisei no Gargantia. Because, well, I think I've already gushed about it in one of these live streams. But, so anyway, the show, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I did not want to watch it thanks to that title. I don't know why they picked that title. It's got basically nothing to do with the show. But whatever, it's their choice to make. Even though it's not one I would make if I were in their place. I don't know. I'm bad at naming things too, so. But, yeah, this is turning out really, really cute. It's just adorable. You guys come up with such cute OCs and stuff. I mean, like, I guess my OCs can be cute. They're just not for some reason. Maybe it's because I've always been kind of bad at cute stuff. I did succeed in making something cute with my next incorrect OCs quotes page. I I think one of you watching knows what I'm talking about. But I ended up writing a pickup line that, or like a Valentine's Day style quote that was pretty cute. But you guys will see that when I get that done. I've finally laid out the text and stuff. All I have to do is actually power through finishing up the drawing. But yeah, this was a really cute piece to ask me to draw, and I'm really glad that you asked me to draw it because it's so cute. I need to find another word for cute. Adorable, sweet, promotes good dental hygiene in a way that doesn't make people scared of the dentist. Oh yeah, last night I was I don't know. You guys know how I really do not like retail Christmas, but I actually do kind of like retail Halloween. So I can get into retail Halloween, but like retail Christmas makes it just, last I checked, retail Halloween doesn't usually have a death count. Or, you know, it doesn't really usually have a body count. You know, people are a little more chill about stuff for retail Halloween, but retail Christmas, eesh. So I was rewatching my Halloween playlist to try to cheer up a bit, and the dentist song from Little Shop of Horrors came on, and what a masterpiece of a villain song. Definitely look it up. It's just Little Shop of Horrors Dentist. I forget the actor's name, but he does a really good job. I'm trying to think of how to tell you guys who he is, even though I don't remember his name to save my life. I think he played the dad in Cheaper by the Dozen. I don't know. But, yeah, that song will very easily make you scared of the dentist if you weren't already. If you already were, then I think it would make your fear of the dentist a lot worse. But, yeah. Catchy song, though. I mean, if I'm being honest. Really catchy song. Let's see. There we go. And then I need a bright yellow for the eyes. And then on the line art layer, I need to fill this in with black. It's so cute! I should probably make this gray a bit darker. Hold on. But, yeah, if any of you have seen, like, Little Shop of Horrors or, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes also has a really catchy theme song. It's, I'm not gonna sing it for you guys, but, if you get a chance, just the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes theme song is funny. I'm just gonna... Oh, I was on the line art layer. Oh well. That's okay. I'm gonna give her this for her teeth, and then I think I use this for her skin tone. I need to update my palette with more skin tones. Okay, I haven't filled in the cups yet, so I'll use a darker color there. And then, what do you guys think? Should I put mouthwash in there? Let me check. Okay, I'll just do mouthwash. And I'm on the line art layer. It's okay. I will just... There we go. And then I think I'll give him a blue toothbrush and her a green toothbrush. Alrighty, I think I've got this piece nice and done. I'll just add a background color. There we go. And then we've got this one of Mortem facing off against Lotor. Mortem is an OC, Lotor is from Voltron. In case any of you watching didn't already know. But yeah, let's see. I guess this probably started because I based Mortem's design, or at least the way I draw him, on Lotor. Because I mean, the guy's name, or Mortem's name, is literally just the Latin word for death. Which I couldn't think of a better character to base him on than this guy whose motives nobody knows, but he's always at least 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And, you know, if I honestly am just waiting for someone... I honestly think that Lotor would be the one to have the exchange where someone says, "You've beaten me at my own game." And then he says, "Oh, don't flatter yourself. You were never even a player." It seemed like it suited him. So, on that note, I wanted to make the scariest expression I could draw on this guy his smile. Alrighty, my phone went off for some reason. I forgot to mute it, but that's okay, because I can mute it now. Alright, muted. But yeah, Mortem seemed like the kind of character where the scariest look he could give you would be a smile. because that is how you know that you're completely and utterly dead. Unless he wants you alive. But what are the chances of that? The other thing that stood out to me about Lotor that I wanted to keep with Mortem is that a lot of people think Lotor's attractive for some reason. Like, I guess he has he has conventionally attractive features, but I figured, that, the guy named after Death should probably not be too ugly. That and his actual creator's design wasn't particularly not conventionally attractive. So I thought, yeah, I'll make him. I will make him a pretty boy, I guess. At least in his design. But let's see, let's make sure he looks kind of focused there. I could do a better job on the angle of this pupil. But, alright, how does that looks better? But, I did give him a different, chin than Lotor, because, I mean, look at Lotor. Like, he could stab you with that chin. I, didn't necessarily want that, when I drew this guy. So, I gave him a somewhat wider, more rounded chin. If chins could kill. But, so that's a little, that's pretty much what I have to say about these characters in terms of their design. I haven't really read enough of Mortem to really know what he's all about. But I mean, with what I had to go on, I think I came up with a decent look. Let's see. But yeah, the biggest inspiration I took from Lotor for Mortem is probably in the basic triangle pupil to pupil to the middle of the mouth, or to the middle of the bottom lip. I tried to keep those proportions pretty similar. And then, because, I mean, I didn't want him to look exactly like Lotor. Otherwise, why not just have Lotor in the comic, There's no point in there's no point in basically having a character and being like, that's not Lotor. Literally his name. Not-Lotor. Let me pull up the reference that I made for him. Wrong folder. This one. And this conveniently has his color scheme all laid out for me. That makes things easier. Let's see. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how his design came out. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy, but one of the things that I have noticed, especially with, like, from what I've heard about Final Fantasy 15, now, I don't speak Latin necessarily, or, like, straight up, I don't speak Latin, but my mom does, and she taught me just a little bit of it to be able to say a few things. Apparently my accent is awful, but I don't understand how it could be, because Latin is a dead language. Like, nobody actually speaks it. Like, nobody speaks it conversationally anymore. There's no, like, it's really only used for religion and science, and occasionally legal. So, I mean, your pronunciation, I don't see how that matters. But whatever, that's a tangent. The point is, like, hearing about Final Fantasy 15, like, you have the main character whose name translates to Nightlight. He's the son of King. You know, he's got his friend Fire Knowledge. Or actually, I think his friend's name is, I think I read somewhere that his friend's name is actually a complete sentence in Latin. Which ends up translating to, I am stupefied by the knowledge of fire. Which is an interesting choice. But, I'm sure, like, the games make sense. It's just having more experience with Latin than Final Fantasy makes hearing about them kind of interesting. I will tell you what knowing a little bit of Latin does make easier. Learning Spanish and reading French and Italian and German. Or not German so much. German has some Latin roots because at some point it was actually part of the Roman Empire, and, you know, you conquer a place, you bring your language, it's just how it works. So, German has a lot of roots outside of other languages, or outside of the one most people would associate German with, which would probably be Old Norse. I think Icelandic is the closest language to Old Norse. English is also related, but that was a really long time ago, so it mostly only shows in our grammatical structure and common words. If I were to read you something in Old English, one, it would sound awful, because, like, I can't even read Old English, if I'm being honest. Old English is like English with big glowing air quotes around it. it's barely even recognizable as English. Like, I mean, you've got that stuff Chaucer wrote in, which you can kind of read if you really squint and try to think about it. Which, that is only Middle English. To give you an idea of how absolutely not English Old English is. Because Old English, if I understand it correctly, would have been a blend primarily of Gaelic, Old Welsh, and Old Norse. So, that's a lot of languages. And then, like, modern English has a lot more French and Latin in it. But if you want a language that sounds kind of like English, but also a little less, but also has had a little less Romance languages forced into it, I recommend looking at Dutch. Dutch sounds a lot like something that English would have been under different circumstances. It's close enough. There are a lot of cognates. But, I mean, but I think the closest modern language to Old Norse would be Icelandic. So, I mean, if you want to hear what Icelandic sounds like, I actually fully recommend looking up Disney songs in Icelandic, because the Icelandic dub team does an amazing job at it. I don't know their names or how to pronounce them, but yeah, if you want to hear a really good dub, Iceland's usually got you covered. I know this is a rant I usually go on during these streams. I really need to start thinking of other topics to talk about. I'm just a language nerd, I guess. Don't know why I'm going out for film. I really probably should be finishing up my foreign language degree when I get to the university, but I don't know. Film has this way of injecting itself into my life. And if I can't escape it, maybe I should embrace it. And my throat is doing weird stuff now. I don't know why. I think it's 'cause, like, I don't talk that much. IRL. Like, I might say 800 words a day. Normally. And then I get to this stream and it's just like blah 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 blah. Endlessly. And my throat probably just isn't used to keeping up with this. But yeah, it's languages, yo. Just like inaccurate translations are really funny too, because like some of them, like you'll get translations that aren't necessarily inaccurate for what they mean, they're just inaccurate for tone or slang. I think like when you translate English, like if you put the English word for garbage can through a mechanical or a computerized translator, a lot of the time it'll pump out basura puede, which if I were to translate that for those of you who don't speak Spanish, it would be the trash bin can, or the trash bin is able to. Which, I mean, it's not inaccurate, because, I mean, we also, in English, use garbage just to refer to the garbage can. But it's still wrong. There was another clip I saw, I don't know what anime it was from, but when they localized it, what they did with the translation was, in the original Japanese anime, they were on like a treasure hunt or something, and the instructions were written in English, which is, you know, people learn it all the time in Japan, but these particular characters were especially young and not very good at English, so they're just, why are these instructions written in English? And the dub team did not change the language that was mentioned when they dubbed the show in English. So, you had characters speaking English literally saying, "My English isn't that good, I can't read that." And it was pretty funny. So that's sometimes the most accurate translation isn't the most accurate translation. Or sometimes the most literal translation isn't the most accurate. Let's see. What to say? Lotor's a real hard character to draw, I guess. Let's see. I don't know if you guys who are watching have seen Voltron, but without going into it, or spoiling as little as possible, there's a scene in season 4 where he has to get out of some handcuffs for reasons, and they got to write a weakness into their space handcuffs that he could exploit for the escape scene, and they knew if he suddenly wasn't in cuffs, everybody would know it was a cop-out. So one of the storyboard artists went ahead and drew up a sequence in which this guy dislocates his shoulders to bring his arms back up over his head. And that was disgusting to watch. Apparently it was disgusting to draw, because I heard that one of the animators got sick working on that sequence. Like, definitely body horror. Light body horror, it's not gory, but that was not pleasant to watch. Because, I mean, shoulders are not supposed to move that way. But I guess that's now something that character can do, so... It's just... really... And now every time I draw this character, I can't help but remember that sequence. It was like... I don't know. I almost managed to get through this one anime called Parasite the Maxim, in which this guy's arm is replaced by an alien parasite that, well, I mean, it doesn't eat people because it's attached to him and it hasn't taken him over for reasons that are better explained in the show. But, like, the parasite is its own entity, so it functions as his arm most of the time, but sometimes it doesn't. But it's still attached. And, like, I managed to get through that anime almost all the way. It was around this time a couple years ago, so, again, again, with retail Christmas right around the corner and things starting to get bad, I think that's part of why I hate retail Christmas so much. It makes my mental health go down the toilet very quickly. So I had to stop watching Parasite. But it was some really well done sci-fi if you can get past the gore. I don't recommend it to people who are sensitive to gore. Just no, don't even. Don't look it up. Don't, just don't. But, like, I managed to get through that just fine, and then, or almost just fine, but that scene where Lotor just dislocates his shoulders is... I need to hurry up and get this line art done. If I have extra time in the next stream, I might color it, but if I run out of time here, I will wrap up the line art, at least. Just to make sure that everything gets done. Because I have been slowing down significantly to talk about that disgusting piece of character animation. In my defense, it is truly, truly disgusting. Just, yeah. I say that as someone who used to be able to dislocate her hips, too. Like, the only thing is I didn't, like, I guess that's the benefit if you're able to dislocate assorted body parts, is that you don't have to see it. I mean, I haven't done that in a really long time. I probably can't anymore. But when I was like 14-ish, I could. So I'd say it's been about 7 years. But just anyway. Let's hurry up and get this guy drawn. I have a reference for him on my desktop here. But here we go. It's really hard to find a full body reference of this guy for some reason. So, I'm just reconstructing the best I can based on this screenshot. But, let's see. Almost there. But yeah, if I run out of time on this, I will just finish the line art before I post it. If I have extra time in the next stream, I'll color it. Navigator. Here we go. Because, yeah, we are coming up on just having 3 minutes or 2 minutes left. So I think I can wrap up this line art in that time. Maybe not well, but... Alright, I think that's almost wrapped up. There we go. Yeah, that's the line art. Almost. Let's see. I need to fix that eye, but I will probably end up fixing it off camera. I say as I go to fix it right now. Can you hear the trains going by? They go by a lot more often in the winter. You'd think for a band kid train horns wouldn't bother me. I don't know, it's just something about how they kind of come out of nowhere. Makes me jumpy. Let's see. There we go. Alright, I think that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will, see you guys, I'll see you guys in the next stream in about 3 more hours, okay? I will, I'm gonna get going. Bye. All right.